So they are there to provide what? Promotional and advisory services to the government. So they provide what? Advisory services to the government. So that's another objectives of MEGA. So then we also have the next one. We have the International Monetary Fund. We have the International Monetary Fund, IMF. So the International Monetary Funds also refers to as what? The fund is referred to as what? The fund is an autonomous international financial institution established in 1945. It was established in 1945 under the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944. So it is a sister institution of the International Bank for Reconstruction. So the IMF is just like a sister to IBRD. And what are the objectives of IMF? So each of all these organizations, if you look at them, you discover that they all have what? Objectives. So they are not just set up for setting up sake. They have objectives that they are to what? They are to meet. So number one is what? To promote international monetary what? Cooperation through a permanent institutions that provides the machinery for consultation. So one of the International Monetary Fund is to what? Is to promote international monetary cooperation. Another one is to what? To facilitate the expansion and balanced growth of international trade. So they facilitate the expansion and balanced growth. Also, to promote what? Exchange rate stability. So another objectives of the IMF is to promote exchange rate stability. Exchange rate what? Stability. Also, to assist in the establishment of a multilateral system. So they help to assist in the establishment of a multilateral system of payment. So relevant to the transactions. Then they also help member countries to overcome what? Their balance of payment difficulties. So they help member countries, any member countries, they help them to overcome the balance of payment difficulties. So how did they do that? Through the provision of short-term facilities, short-term loan, so to support them financially. So also, we have the African Development Bank, ADB. So all what we have been talking about since, we have been talking about World Bank Group. So, and I tell you, World Bank Group is falling under 4. It falls under 4. So now, we also have the African Development Bank Group, ADB. So ADB, African Development Bank, ADB. So it is made up of the following. So there are some institutions you will see under ADB too. So we have the African Development Bank, we have African Development Fund, and we have the Nigeria Trust Fund. So all of these fall under what? They all fall under African Development Bank. So let's pick it one after the other. So the first one is what? African Development Bank, ADB. So the ADB was established. The ADB was established by the Articles of Agreement. It was established by the Article of what? Agreement. Signed in what? In Khartoum. It was signed in what? In Khartoum, Sudan. So African Development Bank, from the word African, it means it's an African organization. It's an African organization, and it was signed in Khartoum, Sudan. So by the finance ministers of 30 independent African countries on the 4th of August, 1963. So, and the headquarters of the African Development Bank is in Abidjan. Abidjan means Ivory Coast, or the one you call Côte d'Ivoire. So the headquarters is in Abidjan, and it was established in July 1966. Please take note of that. So, and The member nations of ADB include all independent African states and the non-African members such as USA, Canada, Britain, France, Japan, etc., who were admitted following an amendment to its charter in 1982. Please, are you following? Please, that's why I say you need to jot down and take note of all those dates, please. So, what are the objectives of the African Development Bank, ADB? So, what are the objectives? So, one of the objectives is to what? To finance investment projects. To finance investment projects and programs. So, the objective of ADB is to finance investment projects. Also, to mobilize resources from outside Africa, especially from developed countries, Also, to undertake or participate in the what? In the selection, study and preparation of project enterprises and activities contributing to the development of its members. So that is all of these are the objectives of ADB. So we also have the African Development Fund, ADF, African Development Fund. So the African Development Fund was established in 1972. So it was established in 1972 as an affiliate of the African Development Bank to provide development finance on easier payment and interest term than the ADB. So ADF was also formed or was established in 1972. So it's an affiliate bank to what? To the African Development Bank. African Development Fund, ADF, is an affiliate of what? ADB. And it was established in 1972. It was established in 1972. So let's look at the objectives. So, and the main objective is what? To also provide loan. So the ADB was set up to provide loan. So to provide loan to support development of African member states. So then we also have the Nigeria Trust Fund. The Nigeria Trust Fund. So the Nigeria Trust Fund was established by the federal government in April 1976. So the Nigeria Trust Fund was established in April 1976. And why was it set up? To assist the development efforts of the poorest and most indebted member countries of the ADB. So any member countries of the ADB that are poor, at least they don't have money to finance their country, to support their country. So the Nigeria Trust Fund will provide support to them. So what are the objectives of the Nigeria Trust Fund? Like I said, is to provide financial support for member countries. So then we also look at the African Union, AU. So the African Union is a continental body. Consisting of 55 member states. So the AU, African Union, consists of what? 55 member states located in what? In African continent. From the word African Union, you are talking about 55 member states from African continent. It was established to promote unity. So African Union was established to promote unity, and apart from unity, to also promote peace, security, development, and cooperation among African nations. African Union was found in July 9. It was established in July 9, 2002. So it was established in July 9, 2002, and the headquarters is in where? Addis Ababa. Addis Ababa is located in Ethiopia. So you can be asking exam. I'm telling you, please take note. Don't joke with all these things. You'll be asked on all these dates and where the headquarters, when they were established, how many member countries do they have? So the African Union has 55 members or states, and all the 55 member states are located in where? In Africa. Talking about African countries. So, and the headquarters is in where? Is in Ethiopia. That is Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. So that is where African Union headquarters, and it was established in 1963. It was established in 2002. It was established in 2002. And this African Union, it was formerly known as Organization of African Unity. That was the initial name they call it. Please take note of that. It was initially known as what? OAU. It was initially known as OAU, and this OAU was established in 1963. So it was in July 9, 2002 that it now changes from OAU to what? To AU. So it's no longer Organization of African Unity again. It is now regarded as what? African Union. That was in July 9, 2002. But as at 1963, it was formed as what? Organization of African Unity. Please take note of that. Very important. Very important. So then we also have the objectives. So what are the objectives of African Union? What are the objectives? Number one is what? To promote unity. From the word union, to promote unity and solidarity among what? African states. That is number one. Number two is to defend sovereignty and territorial integrity. That is to ensure that they promote what? Unity, and they defend what? Sovereignty. Another objective is what? To accelerate political and social-economic integration of the continent, to promote peace, security, and stability, to support democratic principles and institutions, good governance, and human rights. So to also encourage sustainable development and economic cooperation. So all of these are what we classify as the objectives of the African Union. So from there, is there any question so far? Hello? Is there any question before we continue?
No, we can continue.
Okay, so this particular chapter, like I said, it focuses majorly on you studying dates. You need to understand dates, the established date, that is one. You also need to understand the objectives of each of these international organizations. You need to understand the objectives, the date, and member states. How many member countries do they have? So those are the things you need to take note. Most especially the objectives, very, very much important. Please take note of that. So we're looking at economic integration. What is economic integration, and what are the levels of economic integration? So economic integration is the removal of discrimination between the economic agents of the member countries and the creation and implementation of common policies. So like I said, integration is the process of merger of economies of separate states into larger entities. So when you hear about integration, it means we are trying to expand or extend what? The policies that has been put in place before. So you want to extend it. So what are the economic integration serve as a means of what? So this economic integration we are talking about, number one, it serves as a means of what? Increasing members' welfare. It also serves as a what? As a means of obtaining efficiency in resources. Efficiency in what? In resources. It also eliminates discrimination. It helps to eliminate discrimination. It also helps to increase what? Freedom of movement of goods and factors of what? Production. So it also helps us to achieve economic policy. It helps us to achieve economic policy. Then it also helps to what? It serves as a means of consultation between different economies. Between different economies. So as we look at that, we want to look at regional what? Organization. So all what we have been talking about since is focusing on what? International organizations. So all what we have been talking about since is focusing on international organizations. So we want to look at the regional what? Organization. So what are the major types of regional integration? Number one, when two or more states eliminate internal barrier to trade while keeping their own external tariffs against non-member states. So that is what we classify as free trade areas. Then we also have customs union. Customs union. What is customs union? Customs union is an arrangement where two or more states eliminate internal barriers to trade while keeping to a common external tariff as a union. That we call custom. Then we also have common market. What is common market? This is an arrangement of a customs union as well as the countries agreeing to remove the barrier to the what? To the movement of factors of production. So that we call common market. Then we also have economic union. So what is economic union? This occurs when countries graduate beyond the common market by agreeing to coordinate their economic policies, such as interest rates, common policies on inflation, and ultimately a single currency. So that is economic union. Then we also have the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. So please take note of this one. There's no how you want to do it. They will definitely ask you a question on ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States. And ECOWAS was formed by 15 West African countries under the what? The Treaty of Lagos. So if you are asking exam as an objective question, so ECOWAS was formed on the 28th of May 1975. So ECOWAS was formed on the 28th of May 1975. And it now has 16 members. So what are those 16 members? The Republic of Benin, Ghana, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Mali, Mauritania, Niger, Nigeria, Senegal, Sierra Leone, and Togo. All of these countries they are what? Members of West African states. That is ECOWAS. They are West African countries that are under ECOWAS. So ECOWAS was established to produce what? Cooperation. So the main purpose of ECOWAS is to produce or to provide what? Or to promote cooperation and development. So to promote cooperation and development between member countries in the field of economic activities. Another objective is to promote free trade. To promote what? Free trade between member countries through gradual reduction to tariffs and other non-tariff barriers. Also, to what? To establish common tariff structure. To establish common tariff structure and commercial policies. And commercial what? Policies to non-member countries. Also to harmonize To harmonize means to make it what? Global, to make it known to people. So to harmonize the agricultural policies and the production of common projects within the community. Another objective of ECOWAS is to promote joint development of transport, communication, and energy. So that is all we have under ECOWAS. Then we also have World Trade Organization, WTO. WTO was established through the WTO agreement, which came into force on January 1, 1995. So the World Trade Organization was formed on January 1st, 1995. So it was formed in January 1, 1995. Please take note of that. Then we also have, what are the objectives? What are those objectives of World Trade Organizations? Number one, to conduct its affairs in the field of trade and economic endeavor with a view to ensuring full employment of resources, large and steadily growing volume. Also, to promote optimal use of world resources in accordance with the objective of sustainable government. So all of these are what we classify as the objectives of World Trade Organization, WTO. Then we also have another organization, which is the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD. So UNCTAD is an organ of the General Assembly to the United Nations, and it was convened in 1964. All members of the United Nations are members of the conference, and it has a permanent executive organ and a permanent secretariat. So the major concern of the UNCTAD has been to protect and champion the cause of development countries against restrictive trade. So what are the objectives for UNCTAD? So what are those objectives? Number one is to promote easier access of the exports of developing countries. Also, to increase the flow of financial resources into developing countries. Then also to evolve an international debt strategy aimed at restoring debtors' countries' external liability. Then we also have Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. So whenever you hear OPEC, OPEC is talking about what? Organizations of Petroleum Exporting Countries, and it was formed in 1960. OPEC was formed in 1960 by 5 oil-producing countries, and the headquarters is in where? Is in Vienna. Vienna is in Austria. So the OPEC was formed in 1960, and the headquarters is in Vienna, Austria. So it is an organization consisting of some major oil exporting developing countries, acting as a cartel or oligopoly to promote their common. So OPEC is majorly about what? Exporting of what? Oil to developing countries. So what are the principal objectives of OPEC? So what are those objectives of OPEC? Number one, to promote oil price stability. So one of the objectives of OPEC is to promote oil price stability. So whereby the price will not be changing anyhow. To also coordinate and unify the petroleum policies of member countries and determine the best means of safeguarding their interests. Also, another objective of OPEC is to provide an efficient economic and regular supply of petroleum to consuming nations. So if you look at all what we have been doing since, all what we have been talking about, like I said, in this international and regional organization, what you just need to understand is, like I said, understand the objectives, understand the date which they are established, understand how many member countries do you have under it, and finally, try and understand what are those things that the organization want to achieve, which is their objective. It's very much important. Please, it's very much important. Very much important. So is there any question for now on this chapter?
I don't have a question right now.
Okay. So in the absence of no questions, so I will just advise, please take your time and go through this particular chapter. Like I can give you 100% assurance, question will definitely come out from this. Definitely, I use the word definitely. So be expecting questions from this chapter. It's very much important. Very much important. So we'll be looking at another class tomorrow, same time tomorrow. So by tomorrow, we will round up everything that we have to do with the economics. So thereafter, we can now be doing revision, or probably if you have any question before the exam will start. I heard the exam is on the 24th and 25th, 24 and 25 of this month. So, and I communicate with Mr. Joy this evening. So I let him understand that we've not been seeing Clifford. So he told me that some of your class during the weekend that he doesn't join you. Is that true?
Yes,
So
he does
I
not join.
Okay, so I told him to reach out. To say he promised to reach out to him today or probably tomorrow morning. So for him to know what is going on, so that we can know. So everything will be fine. So we hope we are planning
I
towards. Yeah.
also I also noticed that he was removed from the group.
It was removed.
Yes,
Really? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. I will. I will see if I can get his number. I will try. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't observe that. Thank you for your observation. I didn't know. I didn't know. So and I discussed with Mr. Joy this evening. He didn't tell me anything. So which is not I'm not comfortable with that. So but I will, he's late now. I would have liked to call him but it's late. So I will definitely call Mr. Joy tomorrow to know why he was removed. That is one. Then I will also try and reach out to himself. So to know maybe he's not writing the exam, then there should be a reason. So you can let me know. So probably I will see what I can do. If you cannot write this diet, fine, but at least I want to know why it was removed. Thank you for the observation. So tomorrow we'll be looking at chapter 16, same time tomorrow. So please endeavor to join. Don't be tired. So just put in effort, hope for the best. And I pray God Almighty will provide. So hope you are, like I said, are you planning to register anytime soon for your exam?
Yes, I will register soon.
Please, God will provide. Please work towards that. So we, like I said, we have class tomorrow, same time tomorrow. So you will receive the link tomorrow. So let's see if we can round up. Then as we are rounding
Thank
up,
you.
endeavor to also put in time to be reading too. So if there's any question, you will let me know before we now start solving class question before your exam. All right. So I wish you a good night rest. So you have a lovely night rest, and I wish you all the
Thank you
best.
very much.
Yeah, you are welcome. Thank
Thank
you too.
you. Good
All
night.
right. Good night. Bye. Thank you.